One of the conversations I've been having a lot lately, I would say, well, for quite some time, I think, is around user experience and like the user interface. And, how does that change things for the worker in the warehouse? How does that help, the next generation better adapt to coming into like this type of work setting and things of that nature? I mean, so how do you approach kind of the experience for the user, and how do you maybe frame it, or how do you explain the experience improvement to someone who's maybe looking to make a switch from what they're doing currently and maybe weighing voice as an option?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's a hard one. It's a nuance that's sometimes hard to see on the surface.
Yeah.
But when you look at at again, voice being that native interface for all of us, it's also across generation. And I want to paint with a broad brush. People overdo the generational stuff, but the reality
Mm,
is, I mean, right now, workers entering the workforce are in a mobile generation. They've been talk to text. They've been doing things for ever since they've been old enough to really understand how those things work. And so when you look at an interface, how to train somebody, and then the pacing kind of instead of again, I'm going to use the generational thing. It can be overused. There's always exceptions to the rule, but past generations, it might be, hey, here's the objective we're looking for, and there's going to be lots of tasks you got to figure out in between. Go get that done. The current generations are much more looking for kind of step by step, or here's these things, do these, come back, And so when you look at how voice is implemented, typically, when it's done well, and everything can be done poorly, but when it's done well, it really does cross generations. So the mobile generation embraces it as its way. It feels like new technology. It feels hip. It feels okay. They're in a warehouse. Of course, they look around. They know where they are, but they're engaging with newer technology, similar to how robotics right now is getting a lot of that buzz. But at the same time, it's not something so complex that your older workers or your other generational workers who are going to look at this and go, "I'm out." They've been talking
Yeah.
to people back and forth their entire life.